Hello neighbor, this is Curt with eTrailer, and today we're going to take a look at the Benton Shifts&Grins Bike Rack, and we're going to see how it works with our 2025 Mazda CX-30. So if you've been on the hunt for a 2-bike carrier in the 2-inch hitch of your CX-30 and you need it to be something with a really decent weight capacity and be versatile to handle a couple of different styles of bikes, the Benton Shifts&Grins could be the bike rack for you. It offers a 55-pound per tray weight capacity, so it will accommodate some of the lighter weight e-bikes that are out on the market now. And from a versatility standpoint, it can be either wheel or frame mounted. So we have it wheel mounted now, which is really the most common and easy way to do it. But if you have a bike with fenders, this style isn't going to work. What you'll need to do is we're going to go ahead and depress this button, remove our hook, and we're just going to move it back here to the frame and clamp it down from there. And of course, if you have a bike that has a custom paint job or a carbon fiber frame, you're going to want it to be wheel mounted, and we can just bring it right back over. We can do that both ways, so we could have our bike closest to the vehicle be wheel mounted, our bike furthest from the vehicle be frame mounted. So it does a great job of being able to accommodate those different styles. So let's just talk a little bit about how it actually fits against the CX-30. And for a frame of reference, as far as the size of the bike we have on here, we do have a bike with a large frame. It has 15-inch handlebars and large pedals. So you can use that to kind of scale your own bike against it to kind of judge how it's going to fit. But as you can see, even with this larger bike, it holds the bike well away from the vehicle. I've got no concerns whatsoever of these making contact with each other. Even if we're on a rougher stretch of road, we're really not in any danger of that. But like with any hitch bike rack, we are going to have some visual obstructions in the back. One thing is that the Shifts&Grins does have a bit of a rise from the shank as far as where it holds the bike. So it is going to be propped up kind of high up in your rear window. You will see the bike out of that. We're also, for other drivers, going to have some partial obstruction to our taillights as well as our license plate. And what that also means is you're also going to have some obstruction coming from your rear view camera out the back. So it's really important to understand just what kind of footprint this is leaving behind the CX-30. So we're going to measure from the bumper to the furthest point on the bike rack, which will be right here. And this is going to add 32 inches off of the bumper. So just keep that in mind. You've got almost 3 feet back here that you got to account for when you're backing into a tighter space or trying to parallel park. The other thing that we want to take a look at is our ground clearance. So this does hold the bike rack pretty far away from the vehicle, just making that, you know, a little bit more of a concern. And we're going to get a ground clearance of this of about 18¼ inches, which generally speaking should be more than enough if you come upon a steep driveway or incline, but it's definitely something that you want to keep in mind. I had also mentioned the fact that you are going to get a weight capacity of 55 pounds per bike. Now there's no load assistance on the Shifts&Grins, no ramp or anything like that. So however much your bike weighs, just make sure that you're comfortable lifting it up past about the 22.5-inch mark to get it loaded and unloaded from your bike rack. One of the most common questions that we get when it comes to a hitch bike rack is, will I have access to my cargo area even with bikes loaded on the rack? And with the Shifts&Grins, we will. We do have a tilt-away feature. It's accessed through this button here that's on the end. So what I'm going to do is hold on to my bike just to brace the weight, push in that button, and lower it away from the back of the vehicle. So once that's done, we can come around to our cargo area, access our lift gate with more than enough room to spare. And now I can load up on equipment, water, change my shoes, whatever I need to do before hitting the trail. Or maybe on the way home from the trail, I just want to stop at the grocery store and pick up a few things. Now I can make that really easy because I don't have to take my bike off the rack to get into that cargo space. And to get it back up into its driving position, you don't need to engage the button again. All you need to do is reach down, lift up. We'll hear that loud click, and we're locked into the riding position and ready to hit the road. Now, loading and unloading your bike from the Shifts&Grins is a pretty easy process. We have 3 points of contact. We have the arm and hook that we looked at earlier in the video, and each of our wheels has a padded rubber strap to it that's going to really kind of protect the wheel as we keep it in place. So When we're unloading the bike, we want to disengage our wheel straps first. That way the arm and hook can keep it in the upright position while we hold it, disengage that, bring it down. When we're loading the bike, we always want to engage the arm and hook first so we can keep it upright and stationary while we put in our wheel straps. So since we're unloading, I'm going to go ahead to my front wheel, depress this tab, release my strap, and feed it through the spokes and clear it out the other side. I'll do the same thing with my rear wheel here. Now that both of those are out of the way, I'm going to go ahead and grab hold of my bike to keep it upright. I'm going to depress the button on my hook, lift the hook up on the post, and clear the wheel. At this point, I'm free to take my bike down, get it on the ground, and now I can either store it or hit the trail. Now, the Shifts and Grins is a powder-coated steel, and while that's going to really help protect it from rust and corrosion, give it a nice long life, it also makes it very heavy. It weighs in at about 63.5 pounds, so this is a bike rack that you're probably not going to want to install and uninstall too often in between rides. And if you ride frequently enough, it's something that can live in the hitch because it does have a fold-up or a stowaway feature, so we can significantly reduce this footprint behind the vehicle when we don't have a bike loaded. And in order to use that, what we're going to end up doing is engaging that same button that we did for the tilt-away, except this time, instead of letting it fall away, we're going to lift up against it and fold it up toward the back of the vehicle. Now at this point, we've gone ahead and we've reduced that footprint down to about 18 inches, so we still have about 1.5 feet back here that we need to account for. But visibility-wise, we still have our license plate partially blocked, but we have a clear view of our taillights and a clear view out the back window. One thing though is we still have some obstruction going on with our rear view camera, so do keep in mind that you've still got about 1.5 feet back here when you're getting into those tight spaces. Now this isn't something that happens often with hitch bike racks, but what we have discovered is that with the Benton Shifts and Grins, while it's in its stowaway position, we can actually still access the liftgate of the CX-30. So while it doesn't give you a whole lot of room back here to maneuver or anything, if we need to get into our cargo area in a pinch, we don't have to unfold the bike rack to actually do that. With most hitch bike racks that I've come across with the CX-30, that's something that would have to happen. It's kind of cool that you don't have to do that with the Shifts and Grins. So when it's all said and done, I think the Benton Shifts and Grins can be an excellent option for you and your CX-30, especially if you're looking for the type of bike rack that is versatile enough to carry different styles of bikes wherever you go. But if after watching this video you decide the Shifts and Grins is for you and your Mazda CX-30 and you get it and you have the opportunity to use it a few times, please share with us what you think about it in the comments below. Sharing your experience with other neighbors just like yourself can help them make the best decisions for themselves. Once again, this is Curt with eTrailer. Thanks for stopping by.